All right, good morning. I never thought of like some live going on, so I don't. We have a few people in person and then also on YouTube, I believe, so. You can see people are on. I think you can see if like I go to YouTube, like not from there, like as a personal stream. I'm having music players. Not from there, like as personal. Okay, it's all good. People can watch this now. Jesse is supposed to be. Do you have Jesse's number? Jesse. Let me go check on him, because I know he's here, so I'm like, I don't want to get started and then, that's fine. All right, he's done. So do you have a TikTok account, Christian?
I do not have TikTok. I have Facebook and Instagram, and
That's
those
good.
are reluctant, but learning.
Yeah, I get you. So I actually don't really use TikTok myself, like personally. Facebook and Instagram is really what I use for my business, so I mean, respect there. I do use TikTok though as an editor. I've heard that it's a lot easier to use. But yeah, we can go into that. So I think I'm gonna give kind of the basics today of short form video, why it's important, how to use it, how you can utilize it, and then we go into like how to use it. So. Welcome. What's up?
Are you waiting on me?
Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about reels. Do we like the pun that Joseph came up with? Reels are of course not the only type of short form video. Of course, you have TikTok.
Right.
You say, let's make a TikTok, everybody knows what you're talking about. Reels are kind of Instagram and Facebook's way of trying to hop on that market. So Reels and TikToks are basically the same thing, just different platforms. Both are the same advantages, basically. You can post something on TikTok and reshare it on Facebook. There's been plenty of times where, again, I don't really have TikTok, like I was talking to Trisha. I'll be on Facebook and see the exact same stuff that I would see on TikTok. So my friend over here who only uses TikTok has seen the same stuff I've seen.
Right.
So there kind of is no escaping like, oh, this stays on TikTok. Not really.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So do either of you talk to Trisha? Do you have TikTok?
Alright, well, I do, but I'm not on it.
Yeah.
I don't post on it.
Okay.
We're just Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah. So
And Instagram.
do either of you use videos in your marketing?
Not enough.
I was gonna say, I don't be reluctantly and like, oh yeah, I do a video, but.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. So
I don't like social media,
For
so.
low point
it's
five.
a thing, and the hard thing too, is that social media every year gets more and more as the mainstream way to build a brand.
It is.
Networking is very important, and that'll never die. You need to know people, and you need to keep your name going. Local, like postcards work, flyers work, whatever it may be, events. But it's like social media is that one constant. So like if I meet somebody out there, I'm like, oh yeah, I do this. They're like, oh, well, what's your Instagram? What's your Facebook? What's this? And that's an easy way. Instead of exchanging phone numbers now, it's like, here's my Twitter handle. So it's kind of weird, but every year, I feel like it's getting to be more of the popular choice. There's a lot of people who say that if you aren't using social media, then you really are falling behind.
Sure.
So it's a learning curve for sure. So today we're gonna go into kind of like short form video content, which is the most popular right now, and kind of going into some statistics with that, why it's most popular, and how you can utilize it. And then we'll go into like literally how to use it. So if you don't know how to work TikTok, if you don't know how to post this, I got you.
Okay.
So yeah. Ways that you can use short form content. I'm sure you've seen all the like funny fail videos where like the wife's falling in the parking lot with groceries, or so and so dressed up like this in the grocery store and it looks stupid. So there's humor in it. So there's a lot of times people are just strolling and they see humor and then they share it or whatnot.
Mhm.
There's educational. A lot of people use it just to be quick and brief about, for example, the election. Hey, vote today. This is your right. Blah blah this. They use it for advocacy, support, whatever it may be. Educational real estate, about interest rates, whatever it may be. As long as you stay in your realm of knowledge, you're good. And the funny thing is that yesterday at Bold, this was all we talked about was TikTok and like social media on this. So that's funny. Jesse really did miss one. I'm gonna bring it to you. So Bold's social media activity yesterday was filming a video. You picked a partner and you had to go off somewhere in the venue and film a video and post it.
It's easy to know when the bullet.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So a lot of them, they gave pretty good, tips on like how to make a video if you've never done it before, how to ease your worries, how to ease into this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty fun watching everybody become TikTokers in the room. Like it was loud. Everybody was in their own corner. John Bentley did a video.
I love
So yeah, everybody was like, oh,
it.
so it was great. But yeah, really the main purpose though, that I think makes social, like short form content be so popular is personality. So, for example, you can post all day long with Canva graphic. You can type your caption and say this, use as many exclamation points as possible. Your voice is still not coming through that phone. They don't know what you sound like. They don't know your excitement. They don't know if you're authentic. You can fake on social media, but you can't fake sometimes is video. So if you get on video and you show your enthusiasm, you show your personality and your character, it already builds this weird form of trust because it's like an interaction in a way. For example, with our market center social medias, we started doing reels and we posted one funny one in Lexi's new office. And suddenly people who never call the office, like agent wise, were calling. And they were wanting to talk to so and so, they were wanting to do this, asking for help here. It was like a relationship was more, we shared a laugh, we had some humor going on, I feel more comfortable. Hey, I know this kind of person more personally now, but you really don't. But does that make sense? It's kind of like this weird interaction. It's not in person, but you've seen them act, you've seen humor, you've seen how they talk, you've seen all this. It's a more comfortable approach, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm bad explaining things.
No, I
You're
did.
doing that?
Yeah.
So yeah. Really the main, so when TikTok first started, it was 60 seconds was your cap. You could not go past a 60-second video. Now you can make up to 10-minute videos on TikTok. That was a big deal when they added that. But what you see is that the 60-second mark is like your max on what you really should do to hold engagement and attention. The sad thing is that we have shorter attention spans than ever.
Right.
That's a sad truth.
We definitely do.
Yes, that's a sad truth. So with the shorter attention spans comes when you're trying to plug who you are, you don't have much time to do it.
TikTok, I'm like.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
They check out, and the great thing with short form is that it's easy to engage with. It's easy if you have something eye-catching or a quick phrase that draws people in or whatever it may be, it's like watching a movie or watching an episode. They're like, oh, real life happenings, and they want to watch it. So some stats from Forbes, when it comes to Instagram, 91% of Instagram viewers view video only. Like that's their preferred thing on Instagram to check out is video. And 43% prefer that video. So 91% of Instagram users are watching these videos and 43% prefer them.
Right.
So that's a good thing to know with Instagram. And on average, 26-second videos are the most commented on. So not even 60 seconds, less than 30 seconds, and
Right.
you're getting the most engagement on it. Which is wild, because when you think about all the things that go into, I think anything that we're trying to sell, whether it's real estate, or I think of my personal crafting business. The idea of a 26-second video is like,
Mhm.
that's stressful, like, how do I include everything I wanna do? So yeah, when it comes to Facebook, you see where my notes at. So 80% of Facebook stories with sound or voiceovers, get more engagement.
Really?
Yes, and then 62%,
See, maybe I'm just weird, I hate the reels on Facebook, like, I can't stand it, but I realize
Yeah.
I'm just not the norm, I guess. So when I post videos and stuff, even personal stuff, it's always like, you wanna do a reel, I'm like, no, cause I hate it. But I gotta quit thinking about me and like, thinking about the consumer.
I get you, I think sometimes it can get viewed as cringy,
Yeah,
cause so often
right,
it is.
and there is some people that
It
do
is
it like,
cringy.
all.
Yeah. And specifically, I was talking about stories, so how many of you all utilize your stories?
What's
See, I have no idea what.
what's the difference between a reel and a story?
I don't.
So
So you're.
I think social media, like, my plan is eventually I'm gonna have an admin that does all this because I don't wanna do it.
So Instagram and Facebook stories are kind of this quick glance into your life, basically. They're very popular, more people post on their stories than they do on their actual feed. So like how you go here to post on Facebook,
Right,
not a lot of people do that anymore. I mean, they use it,
right.
but what you're gonna see is so-and-so over here is gonna post 20 times a day, taking you along for her day on her stories. How do you use
So
it?
what you said, so like, I have a business page and yeah, like, we'll put our new listings on there and I do it the way you're talking about, and most
Yeah.
people don't do that.
Maybe you should do that, that's not saying you should.
Right, yeah. But I never do a story, so I probably should. look
Now, is
for
it still, this might be a dumb question, is this still where one of them disappears and is
Yes.
ever to be?
Yeah, after stories are what disappear.
So if you wanted to share at least,
You want
you should
something
probably do
really
it,
old
you should do the post and do. I kind of do, but.
So what kind of
I mean,
sets
it's,
stories apart is stories are like this quick, again, short attention spans. John, take a seat. So stories are like just till 11.
It won't be long.
Yeah.
Just to 11.
Yeah, I have an onboarding at 11, so,
I'll sit.
Hard
here for a
stop.
little bit.
but
You might need to like, I would say 2.0, but maybe like 1.5.
Yeah.
looking up one that may not help me. So stories do disappear after 24 hours.
Okay.
However, the reason that this is so popular is because. Actually. It might be easier to show on my personal Facebook, but I don't wanna do that for YouTube Live. So, not gonna do that on there, it's just don't judge me. But- so stories is where you click that,
Okay.
create story, it's way different on your phone, so
And
if you have the
post it-
Facebook app.
You do it just like you would post a link, or like you, when you normally post.
So actually pull up the Facebook app, if you have a Facebook app, pull it up. And just go to your homepage.
Okay.
And you're gonna see these rectangles that have all your friends' names on them, and you just click inside.
I'm gonna switch to my business page, can you still do it from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, it depends on just how many followers and how many people you follow. So go to your homepage. You go all the way to the top. So.
Are you on your business page? It might be good this or that, cause I'm not seeing it either, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna switch to my personal.
Your personal page is where you're gonna find, I don't wanna do it. So those are stories.
Right,
You
okay.
can still post stories
Gotcha,
on your
I just
business
didn't
page, it's just a different formatting. So for example, she posted, it's here, I don't know what she's talking about, but I wanna keep clicking and I'm gonna see. Oh no, that's so cool, keep clicking, literally, it's like a adrenaline hit to just see, oh, that's it, okay, cool. Quick way to just keep people informed, it's not reading a long post, it's not having to click see more, it's.
What did you do now? Sorry.
You're good.
So I'm on my home screen, and what I do, get to stories.
Just right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying if I wanted to post
Create a
Just
story.
click create story.
Oh, now I see it. Yeah.
So,
Now, do you pre-film a video
You
and save it and then?
so with stories, you can post just a photo. You can post a video you
It's all the
take.
ones that have the click throughs, that's just them doing a bunch of different.
You can just say, it could be like her friend installing a new pool. It's here. That's the first one. Click, here's the next phase of it. Next phase, next phase. It's like this really quick update process.
Gotcha.
And I can't explain it very well. It's just that short attention span in me that you click on it and it feels what you need. It's a little less, I don't know, it's like this with a post, people see it, but also pages can get flooded with posts too.
Right.
So sometimes
Right.
half your agents or half your clients aren't seeing your posts sometimes. So if you do stories where people are already sliding through,
Yeah,
it's taking them, they're gonna see it.
but the stories though, you said they don't last long, right?
They last 24 hours.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, you can do a highlight. So on Instagram, you have an option to like make basically a folder. And if people go to your profile, you can say like new listings folder, whatever. And they can swipe through and see all the houses you posted on your stories. That's a timely process and you can make an appointment with me and we can go over how to like do that and plan for that. But that's a way to keep your stories still around for people to see.
Right.
But yeah, so
What's the difference between like clicked on like 3 and it says separate stories or clip mashup? The separate stories be like
separate stories will be the
like here's your first one and it's there for like 10 seconds.
clip mashup, I'm not for sure, that looks like
I just clicked my last.
it just made you a real.
Oh, okay.
It's all it did.
Okay. I got you, it combined all of them into one, okay.
And so the cool thing with stories, you can also post your like actual post on your page that you did. You can post that,
I'll go get it.
you can post that on your story. So when you hit share, there's a part where it says to story. And you can post up there. The cool thing about stories is that you can see who views it. With your post, you can't
Can't
see
see that, right?
You can't, you might get 3 likes, but 200 people have seen it. With stories, I can see exactly who's viewed it. Typically, my stories, like just on my personal page, will get like 89, 100 views. And if I click on it, it's gonna show me every single person. There's even analytics with it where you can see how many clicks you got, not saying who specifically clicked, but you can see how many clicks it got. If you attach a link, how many people went to that link. So there's a lot of good stuff with stories. And I think that's a great starting point for when you're trying to get more used to talking to a camera and you're trying to get more used to being real, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Stories are a great source to do that. A lot of like influencers, quote unquote, what they'll do is they'll do days in the life. So for example, for real estate, you could do day in my life as a realtor. And it could be going to 3 showings, it could have this open house, it could be what I do to prepare for that open house, how to go to Kroger, get the cookies, whatever it may be. People wanna see that.
Right.
It's weird, but they wanna see it, I wanna see it. So, like I call it weird, but if that pops up on a page, you know I'm gonna be hard
Right.
to share it. So, but yeah, so stories are a great way to kind of introduce that. You can also just film yourself for stories, be like, hey guys, I'm going to this open house, I just wanted to personally invite you to this open house I'm doing, whatever it may be, you can talk to the camera and post it, and it'd be pretty authentic. Reels can be the same way, you can use a story as a reel as a story. With reels, you can also be a little bit more strategic. So with reels, a lot of it comes down to tracking what's trending, what's popular. That can be hard if you're not someone who like stays on social media all the time. The only reason I know popular sounds is because at 10 o'clock at night, I'm scrolling on it trying to go to sleep. And so there are things like, what was it? There was a sound. Something sound that was like, actually, I didn't have a clue. Some humor thing. Joseph had the flu last week.
Right.
And Alexis kept quoting that. And I was like, I don't get what you're saying. And so she's like, it's a TikTok. So these things, people know what's trending. You can kind of hear what's trending just in people's jokes these days. Like something will happen and they'll post like, oh, it's TikTok. So that's kind of a way to pick up on it. But you can also research, TikTok, if you go to TikTok and you try to make a sound, they have a spot where it says trending sounds and you can pick. You could just scroll your For You page and just look and look until you find a sound that kind of fits your niche. You think, oh, I can do a spin on that for real estate, or I can make a joke here. That's what I do for our market center. When we started doing reels, I just was like, what can I make into a joke about anything, or what can I do to make it relatable? So yeah, key things with trending sounds is that you'll find that some are perfect for the first of the month. So there's a lot of them that are like, they'll take songs that say the word November in them. And you can do a trend about what I have coming up in November. Or November's gratitude, you can find a song about being thankful and do something with that, or a sound about that. Sometimes sounds aren't songs, they're just someone talking and you're doing the talking as if you're them. It's
You see a lot of that.
yeah, so really it kind of does take being a little social media themed to kind of find what's trending.
But it works, that's why you should do it.
It does,
Right.
yeah, I think it is something to look into and like, not to be like obsessed with like 10 o'clock at night scrolling.
Right.
But it is something to be like in your work day, that's something related to work, take 30 minutes or 20 minutes just to scroll, that might be too much either. But like, to just take time to scroll and see what are people posting, what are people doing?
Right.
Can I do that same trend but make it for me? Oh, I saw this realtor do this trend, I can do that too for my business. But, so a great way to kind of narrow down that though, is if you go to TikTok or Facebook and you type in real estate. It's a trigger word for a bunch of videos, and you can see what people in your field are posting. A very easy thing to do is listings. So easy, because even yesterday, I was partnered up with Emily Crump. And she's like, well, I actually took this video of my listing I have, and I'm gonna post it with this trending sound, it's super cute. And so literally all she did was had a video of the house at the walkthrough.
Yeah.
Maybe she cut it up a little bit to where it was more like that short attention span, that quick jump cut.
Yeah.
Really helps people stay engaged. But it was just a trending sound. And it took her less than 10 minutes.
Right.
So very easy to do, like if you wanna rehearse a sound and you wanna make, I'm gonna learn this audio so I can praise it back to the camera and it looked great and I'm a great actor and whatnot. If you wanna take it that serious, you can.
Yeah.
But really easy to get started is just when you have a listing, go through the house and take videos. I do that with, you can also do it with event recaps. I did that for our Halloween team meeting. I do it for my crafting business. I did a craft fair and I just did highlight videos of what I had on my table, the event space, everything like that. They were like 5 to 10 second clips. Just take like a panorama of it or me walking, whatever it may be. Go into TikTok, I could put them together. Edit the clips, if I want them shorter, I can match the beat of the song, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Boom. So really the prep work of it isn't hard in the moment to take the videos or whatever it may be. It's really just sitting down and knowing the technology of it to know how to shorten the videos, how to match the beat of the song, tips and tricks for making that easier. So yeah, but any questions so far?
Mhm.
Okay, cause I feel like I'm jumping around my notes.
Oh, you're fine. No, I like it.
But yeah, so yesterday in bold, the task was a 60-second video. They did not want you going over 60 seconds. And I have my gold book here. Maybe this is against the law on that. Could get sued. So, one thing that Kristen, our coach, said was forget about being good, just be useful.
Right.
Just do it. So a lot of times what holds us back, especially with social media, is I'm gonna look stupid, I don't want to do this. I'm sure that has crossed your mind. Anyone watching this, this looks kind of weird, I don't want to do that, I'm not comfortable doing this, I'm gonna look cringy, or I don't want to do a reel, I hate the reels. You know what I mean? So just very like, kind of this, I don't want to do that, I just don't think I fit into that box. So forget about being good, be useful instead. If you know what you're talking about and you know that you have this great listing and you're just showcasing the video, you're doing your marketing. There's nothing stupid about that. You're doing marketing. And be confident in yourself too. Like the relatability and human mess up honestly gets more views, if that makes sense. And that sounds weird, but Like Joseph, when we advertise team meeting, he likes to go live because it's one and done, I got it over with. In the beginning of me working here, I was like, Joseph, don't you need time to like prep what you're gonna say? No, I got this. He'd nail it, he'd just do that, and if he stumbled over his words, he'd even say this to me. If I stumble over my words, it just shows I'm human, so
Right,
who cares, I'm sure they stumble over their words too, so.
true.
That relatability and taking down the expectation of perfection really helps make this process easier to walk into. It's not so overwhelming if you know, okay, I don't have to be perfect. I just need to be confident.
Sure.
Just need to know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so another tip they said was talk to one person, not an audience. Again, making it less overwhelming. Don't worry about all the followers who are gonna see this and all how it's gonna go viral maybe, or how it's gonna do this. That puts even more pressure on yourself. If you just are like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna say this, maybe there's a mom out there or something who needs this house, or maybe if you just have an ideal person, or you just treat your phone like it's a person, even, takes that pressure off of you, and it's just, hey guys, I'm here doing this, treat it like it's just one other person, not, I have a microphone and I'm speaking to the masses. Again, speak about what you know, stay in your lane. Are you an expert? This is what Kristen said. Are you an expert in mortgage rates right now? As a realtor, are you an expert in how those fluctuate? Are you an expert in any of that? No. So again, she was like, I don't expect to see a video pop up with you talking about mortgage rates and all this type of stuff, because one, it's not gonna be authentic.
Right.
Two, stating what you know, what applies to you. There's somebody in the room who he would do videos on top 5 places downtown to eat, or top 5 things to do in Lexington on the weekend. Catalyst Group, they do a monthly edit post where they just talk about things coming up in the month, like on like the 1st, they post it and it's random events happening in Lexington throughout the month. That's something that's in your lane, because you're a realtor selling in the area. You would know what's going on. It's what makes people want to move here. What helps you sell houses selling the community.
Right.
So that would fall in your lane of like, here's the top 5 places I would recommend for a date night in Lexington, whatever it may be. So it doesn't just have to be, here's the house I have on the market, doing a showcase of it. It can be, here's a top 5 things of this, or it can be, here's what you need to know about interest rates. Taylor Kays is a good example of this. She made a fucking video about interest rates. Maybe you all saw it or no. I'm gonna play it, and a few other people's. Because there are people in our office who are jumping on this, who I've noticed in recent weeks are taking that extra step to be adding humor, or trying to be more educational with it. So Taylor's was humorous, showed her personality. She had a great caption, and she informed them that, hey, this is what you're gonna look like if you keep waiting for interest. It was her and a skeleton. And so, she was trying to reach the buyer, and she did. So, let's see. So another thing they said was just hit record and start talking.
Right.
Like we said, take the pressure off, treat it like it's just another person in the room that you're talking to. Don't worry about mess ups, because you're human, everybody messes up. But just to let it be natural, just woosah and go. It's basically, that's all. And that's something that's hard for me, because again, if you are thinking about what you're gonna say, maybe you have your notes like I do, and you're like, okay, camera's on, I'm ready. You're immediately gonna forget what you're gonna say, because you've overthought it so much that it's just out the window. And if you keep looking at it through the lens of perfection, no matter how many takes you do, you're gonna have 50 takes and be like, I just need to stop, I'm so frustrated with this. And then you're gonna have to wait another day to post a video that could get you a new client that day, or could get you a new audience. So don't push it off, don't get frustrated, just take a breath and apply it to what you know. Make it relatable to you. If that means that you're just posting a story, that's it. Pick a funny music to put on the story, and when they slide on, they hear like Taylor Swift or something, like, oh, I know Taylor Swift. And then they read about your listing. Or then they're reading about what you have coming up today. It could be like, Trisha, your kids have a soccer game, or Jesse, your kids have soccer games too, right?
Softball, but yeah.
Softball,
But
whatever it may be, it could be that they see that you're over here at the softball field, and they're like, my kid plays softball. And then it's like this point of relatability, so they're like, oh, well, I remember her, he's a softball dad too, or she's a softball mom too, or whatever it may be. The more personal you make it, again with boundaries, But like, if you were to post on your story, it's game day or whatever, they're gonna be like, oh, I wonder what they do. I wonder where they're at. My kid plays their team that day or whatever it may be, if you went that deep.
Right.
Anyway, but just saying like those stories are an easy way to ease into that short form content. Videos too, it could be just like, again, day in the life. You can do a day in the life in a reel, like I said, recap, so take little clips throughout your day, compile them at the end of the day and post it like 5 o'clock. Or you can do a story and just post a photo everywhere you're at without giving your location so you don't get kidnapped, but don't do that. Again, this is all with boundaries and reason. There's some stuff with social media that can go too far. So again, like keep this to what you're comfortable with. But with the days in life, it could be starting my day off at the gym and it'd be like a gym selfie or something. Okay, now I'm getting breakfast here. You don't have to tag where you're at, but you can say getting breakfast and timestamp it or whatever it may be. Some people do every little thing they do. Others are like showing 1, showing 2, open house tonight, whatever it may be, showing that kind of following you throughout the day.
Right.
But yeah, so let's get into kind of what is trending right now and examples of what you all can use for your businesses.
Cool.
So some people. I don't know how to start.
First time buyer, mindful record 30.
So this one right here, there's the news clip, the news posted regarding real estate.
The record set.
So that's that same.
First time buyer.
It's not too good of one, but that's one example, educational. They just posted the content they've already made and posted it here too. Let's see.
I'll see the sun back there. What is she?
6-second video, which is fine. I will say I'm already tired. Yes, because here's the thing, who doesn't want to cheer someone like that on, who has. She obviously is passionate about going into this new career, and so she's celebrating her small win, she's celebrating what she did. Not only are we getting to celebrate her, but also people who are interested in real estate see it and are like, I can do that, I wanna be like her. So it's great. So all of this, like real estate companies, random people, I'm in the same boat right now, Augustine 0 says, it's okay. All this type of stuff. So, I don't even know how many it is. She got 756 likes, 66 comments, all this type of stuff. So yeah. And all she did was sit there and probably pretend to type.
Right.
Let's be real.
Oh, yeah.
Drink her coffee, I can do that, heck yeah. The most time that it took was probably her remembering to do this video and keep track of what she's done. And typing it into TikTok. But yeah. Let's see. Then jump cuts.
Yeah.
6 seconds, jump cuts, that short attention span is already feeling it. It's engaging, you have all the text, it's a popular sound. Do you all know that song?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, we're all.
Yeah.
You don't know that song, so, and it's advertising herself, she has over 1,000 likes, 49 comments, and over 1,400 saved, so people can go back to that video and find it.
That's cool.
Let's see. This is really trending hot. So you're laughing because you probably don't have. So there's some relatability, but also that sound, just like the other one, was not even meant for real estate alone. It was just a trending sound and they took a trend and made it theirs. So
Right.
that trend is just, it can be anything. I think it started with things in our Italian household that just make sense. Was like the starter of it and then everybody else caught on. And you can apply that to so many different areas. This one. So really quick, that was 9 seconds. You gotta laugh. And she got 33 comments and almost 2,000 likes.
Right.
So yeah, so that's kind of examples of what's going on. Here's like just 18 seconds. Just So all of that, all I did was type in real estate in the search bar, and that saved you probably 20 minutes of doom scrolling.
Right.
Cause let's face it, if you start scrolling, you're gonna get distracted and then you're just gonna start mind-numbingly, yeah. It happens. So all of that, now we're gonna look into who in our brokerage are doing these things and kind of what your teammates are doing.
I like it.
So let me see if I can search them through this. I might have to go with my personal. Taylor's someone I really noticed has been doing it. Let's see if she. So this was the first one I saw of hers. And it literally laughed out loud because I love it so much. It shows her personality, its humor, and it's doing the purpose, which is showcasing this listing. She gives all the information, the caption that you need. It's like a one-stop shop for everything. Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
And you know, it's showcasing features of the house, but also showing who to call,
Right.
putting a face in front of that. Yeah, which is awesome. She did another one. Let me see. I'll show this one. Since I have that, just I didn't try to put everything together for the house. And go to jail, 25 to pay the organ. My house, you know, you're fine food, rough life. Yeah. So my client said, you're sorry to be here, ready to repair, or you can take it to go down there and foreclosure on it. So, another way of bringing in humor.
Right.
I think this is the one. Fitting her market, fitting what the need its own.
Right.
So there are countless ways. So Ashley and you see all access. I think they've been doing them together. Tatiana. So there's her bold one, but she did one where it was just. It's just like her on a. So we showed her face, you know, you can call to and I can call her. Have the information you should be on the house. You just normally, are you gonna be walking around that house at an open house or a showing?
Right.
So while you're doing that, you can just take your phone and do some videos too, if you're already gonna do a walkthrough. See, and then it dives into like motivational too, like that one was kind of like, what are your dreams?
Right.
I can help you find them. So yeah, plenty of ways that you can make this. Wow, not gonna show Ashley. Ashley is someone really great, when it comes to social media.
Yeah.
So she invests a lot in like quality of it. Let's see. So the engagement just by encouraging other people. But she does invest a lot whenever it comes to like open house content or showing content, anything like that. She posts a lot about how she's working with videographers, stuff like that. So there are definitely ways when you find your niche and you find what works for your marketing, you lean into it. Sometimes, I mean, short form content can be hard at first because it is daunting. It's overwhelming. I don't want to talk to a camera. It's not a real person. I don't want to come off as cringy. I don't want this, whatever it may be. But those tips I shared for both yesterday really are just drop that, drop all the pressure, drop all the self-doubting, just have confidence, know what you're talking about, prepare what you need to prepare, and just do it. So yeah. Another thing was talking about like like eye-catching graphics or say something that I hate when people do this, but it works. By golly, it works. When people say something that you think is controversial and then you watch the video and it's not what they meant at all, they just chose something that was out of pocket to say, but it got you to watch their video.
Right.
Completely clickbaited you. That's what they call that, clickbait. I don't personally enjoy that, but some people find it works and within reason. If it's something appropriate and not like the most outlandish, controversial thing to say they're using, it can work in your favor, but be wise with what you use to get traction. Don't lie, don't put on a facade, you're gonna lose distrust, like don't do that. Be authentic, your personality when it shows through is what's really going to help you.
Right.
From personal experience, so I do hand embroidery, I do workshops for it. I try and sell tickets for it, there's limited space. My last one, it was really hard to drive engagement for it, really, really hard. To the point where I was almost about to cancel it because of it. And all I was doing was sharing Canva graphics. I was making events, I was messaging people, so I was kind of doing my own lead gen of I'm messaging people here, personally inviting them, whatever it may be. Still was not working. Well, I just went in my backyard. I happened to be wearing a sweatshirt I made, so and that's what you're gonna be making at workshops. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'll just real quick, I'll just film a video and invite people. Maybe they never see me do videos. I'll just post that. Suddenly people were sharing it, people are commenting on it, whatever it may be. And my face, I just opened Facebook and so who I haven't talked to in a year shared it. And I'm like, well, thank you, appreciate it. And then more traction came from my event. Just by a video, because they heard me talk about it. I emphasized key points about it. They heard the passion, they heard the enthusiasm for it. They got to see what I made, like more of like a texture thing. It wasn't just a photo, it was this is real, like this is what I made, this is what you can make.
Right.
It just sold it better. That's just a personal example, and maybe that's the same for you all. If you post something on your personal page, would you say that your friends and family are used to seeing you post that type of stuff?
Right.
So if they see you posting for once like a funny video or just you giving information, they're gonna share it, you're like, they just know what they're doing, like reach out to them, just hear them speak on this. Or they're so funny, I just love them, I'm proud to know them. Or I'm happy I worked with them in the past because just look at them, they're great. So all of that to say, that's why video these days is becoming more and more popular. It's engaging, the short attention span loves it. But yeah, so do you all have any questions at all?
Nope. I think you covered a lot of it.
Yeah, it's daunting.
It's actually not that daunting, you just have to do it.
Exactly. I think what's daunting is, to quote, well, your limiting beliefs.
Right, yeah.
Regarding,
I mean, it is,
like,
yeah, I agree.
your doubt in yourself is what's holding you back. And like I said, if you don't like, when I post that video, typically I would be like, well, I need to know, I need to have notes, I'll write it on a whiteboard behind the camera, and then I'll say what I'm gonna say, then I'm gonna freak out. I literally just went in my backyard with my dogs potty
And winged it.
and was like, oh, it's good lighting, I need to do it now before the light goes away. Did it, and it worked out. So just be yourself, be authentic, and just be confident. I mean, you're awesome realtors. You know what you're doing,
Right.
just do it. So.
Yeah.
Someday. So, if you need help with like knowing how to work TikTok and like how to start, do you all know maybe what like idea you might want to run with first as like your first one to do?
I don't, right now. Is there a way that you can share them on all of the platforms easily? Can you create one? Can you-
So Facebook and Instagram do
They
connect.
do, but TikTok, no.
TikTok, no, but you can easily like hit a share button and it'll share.
I have to tell
You
it
can
to
also-
connect, or like if I do it in
Facebook
Instagram.
and
it's
Instagram, you do
will
need
it
to tell it to
automatic?
connect.
Okay.
And I can help you do that.
You just said I might need to later.
Mine is.
Yeah, so mine is, so if I post on my Instagram story, it's going to my Facebook story as
I
well.
think mine is.
Same vice versa. Instagram, Facebook, if you make a post on Facebook, I don't think it goes to Instagram as a post. But if you make a post on Instagram, you can choose share to Facebook as well,
Right.
as long as your accounts are synced. So yeah, that's an easy way to do it. TikTok also, if you save a TikTok to post there, you're gonna have a TikTok watermark, which is fine. You want people to find you. Sometimes I don't want people knowing I use TikTok. So I'll use TikTok as an editor, but now they have a feature that I use a lot, which is just in your editing, you can click download. No watermark, nothing, just a video with music over it.
Right.
So that's very helpful. But yeah, so if you need help kind of maybe figuring out what's easy and maybe some tips and tricks on how to film these videos. If you want me to keep an eye out on sounds to like send you and be like, hey, this would be great for this, or hey, I think you do a really great job with that. I can. I think a great first starter though, you both have active listings. Okay. Honestly, if you're going to be at any of those houses soon, I would just take,
Do a
Clips.
walkthrough, yeah.
do a walkthrough, pick a nice song. Like you can, I use Taylor Swift as an example because she's everywhere. Just use a popular song that's within your boundaries too, like you don't want to cuss anything up in there, but it might not be good for business. But yeah, so that's a really easy way to get started, and it's something that isn't going to take much time. It could be like that video where the girl's just sitting there typing,
Mhm.
and then you put text over it.
Right.
There's a lot of that type of content where people are literally doing nothing.
Yeah.
And yet it's full of information, so it's just about what you make it, get creative with it, creativity is your like best friend in this. A lot of it is you see someone do it, you don't wanna copy somebody.
Right.
So you see someone do it, make it your own. If you see a realtor do this trend, well, you can make it your own in whatever way,
Yeah.
don't exactly copy it.
Right.
But yeah, anybody else have any questions?
I would love to schedule with you like the how to, like I've done videos and I can get them put like
Yeah.
how to and how to improve it and how to level up with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Us do.
We can do that, yeah, I'll send you my calendar links and just put it in there.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
We did all, we did, I appreciate it.
Thank you to everyone. Whoever said that, okay, that part.
You never know when you do these classes, sometimes we get like 20 people watching and then sometimes nobody.
For real, and that's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it is.